This is Abby, and she's been having a pretty good day. The only real bump that she's had is the flea medication I applied. I actually applied it on her shoulder. I meant to get it between her shoulder blades, but I've never actually applied flea medication before. And she'll be fine. I mean, she's licked it a few times and reacted a bit strongly to it, but I made sure to call the vet in the hotline for the medication, and they said it was going to be fine. As long, the worst that she might do is maybe throw up if she's licked it a little, but it shouldn't be an issue. What's important, though, of course, is that she's not really holding it against me, although she is kind of avoiding me just a little bit more. But she's also allowed me to pet her since. There's no news on the kitten number 2 front. There's probably not going to be anything done about that until next week. I haven't actually even finished doing all my preparations for it because I hadn't been planning to actually adopt the new kitten until next week, just because I have some plans for the coming weekend that will probably make it a little inadvisable to pick up a kitten just yet. But the plan remains the same. She's gonna be put in the walk-in closet, which I can show off right now if you like, while Abby plays. This is the suite, and this was where Abby actually got her start. And on day 1, I had her placed in this walk-in closet here. And here she is following. Oh. That's one of her favorite games. And it's one of the few cases where I'll actually play with her with my hands. But yeah, you can see I already placed down a mat, and there's going to be a cat box put there. And then there's going to be, some things for the kid to play with, and of course her food and water. And the idea is that for the first day, I just want the kitten to get used to life here, and we'll just gradually, just like Abby, get exposed to more and more of the apartment, but on a much faster scale. However, because I'm planning for this kitten to be fully socialized and familiar with how humans work, then it shouldn't take long to actually get her, put her through the paces, so to speak. The real slow part, and what I have to be careful and watch for, is the gradual introduction between her and Abby. And that's the most uncertain part, is how will Abby respond. Now, Abby is 6 months old, so there's a good chance that she'll be just fine with another kitten. Though, I imagine that ideally you'd even try and adopt another kitten when both kittens are possibly even younger than that. But I'm still pretty confident about that. I just have to make sure I pick out the right kitten. So expect actual news on that front next week. Abby's made such progress this week. She'll come looking for me at times. She'll enjoy some snuggles. She slept with me on the bed for maybe the first couple hours last night, and then she went off to do her own thing, and as far as I know, she never came back. Although she could have come back when I was still dead asleep. But it was the last two, the day yesterday and the day before showed the sort of progress I was really kind of dying to see, to make sure that I was actually doing it right. Because even though I knew I was doing it right, the progress was so slow that I was worried I wasn't doing it right. I know that's self-contradictory, but it was kind of in line with how I was feeling. I got low at one point, but Abby got to show me more than once, even during those points, that she was doing fine by me. Yeah, excuse the mess with the litter. It's just, there's only so much you can do to prevent litter mess, and I just haven't swept it up yet today. Uh, so yeah, Abby's fine. She's playful. She met my dad for the first time yesterday. By met, I mean she stared at my dad horrified for about a few minutes, and then my dad left. And that's really all there is to say. Another thing I've been working on related to Abby, which is, still in the works, is I've got wheatgrass. And if you look closely, it looks like it's already started to sprout. Just barely, though. And so I have to make sure to give this a good rinse like a few times a day, just because I've heard that wheatgrass seeds can be susceptible to mold at this stage. But this is because Abby's an indoor cat. She's not going to have many opportunities to eat grass in the great outdoors to help with our digestion and fight off things like parasites and the like. There's a lot of really useful medical benefits to a cat, especially an indoor cat, to give them grass to munch on for a while. Yes, including making them throw up, which sounds mean, but that's also an important part of cat physiology at times. Is they do ingest a number of indigestible materials, including their own fur. So this is one thing that this grass helps with. It's not strictly necessary, but most experienced cat owners would recommend that cats get at least some opportunities to munch on grass or some sort of foliage that's safe for them so that they can get some additional nutrition, help with their digestion. You know the drill. Not only that, but it's also a fantastic enrichment activity. Yeah, Abby really likes my laundry closet there. I don't really want her hiding in there. There's like a little spot about right along like this wall on the inside that she can squeeze into, but it's really hard to reach her in there. And so I have to be careful whenever I'm doing anything with the laundry because she'll want to get in there. Although I imagine her interest in hiding in there will wane once next time I do my laundry, because it'll be the first time I'll have done my laundry while she's so interested in that place. So yeah, everyone's doing fine. I'm going to be maybe going out of town for a couple of nights starting tonight. It depends on my work schedule. I don't know if I have Good Friday off. She actually knocked that off. I had to put that back on. But yeah, she's actually pretty hyper. Usually by this point, she's wound down and is hiding to take a nap. But I don't mind if she takes out a little more of her energy. But that energy and her desire to play so much is part of why I think another kitten would be fantastic, because she'd have someone to interact with. Especially if, say, work is busy and I won't be able to do it myself. But we'll see. Yeah, the biggest thing about adopting another kitten is I have to be sure what I'm going to do if Abby does not want another kitten here. Because, I would want to get a kitten for the sake of the kitten. That's the number one priority. But, Abby's growth is also an important factor. And, of course, I also just want another cat, and I can have up to 2. And I know that if I'm going to have another cat, getting them while Abby here is still young is going to be the ideal schedule. Because that's when a cat is more likely to accept other cats in their home. I've talked enough, and you all probably have some busy schedule or whatnot. So I shall leave you with a final shot of Abby being Abby